Frank and Angie here at Cuenca, Ecuador, showing people how to live local, live frugal abroad. You know, you see all these books, live abroad on $1,000 a month. Well, who's doing that? I mean, in order to be able to do that, you have to go local and you have to be aware of frugality. Anyhow, this is how many bananas we got at Coral Centro for $1.66. You made the photo right. And the outdoor mercado, Feria Libre, you'd be hard-pressed to get a better deal than that nowadays. So we haven't been to Feria Libre in quite a long time now. Look, there's a lot of gringos that are frugally minded, and actually we have to give them a pat on the back and a hand. Good job. You know, there's a lot of awareness about gringo gouging that you didn't see before, and that's a good thing, because anytime foreigners understand the difference between being a resident and living local and just living like a tourist, that's a good thing for the economy. It's a good thing for gringos in the long run, because what'll happen is once a place costs like every other place, gringos stop coming here. But if gringos can keep coming here because they can live local on a local level and be frugal and not spend as much as back home, then they have a reason to keep coming, right? Just reflecting on living in Ecuador, living outside of the United States, and living in a developing country is so many things. After 5 years, it's like shopping at mercados, as we've been here 5 years and living in Ecuadorian neighborhood and shopping as the locals do at the mercado, and looking for bargains at the stores, and just trying to live a free life, you know, free from pressures. So the thing is that it's just like the last couple of times I went to the mercado, I was, keep in mind, been here 5 years, been going to these mercados and shopping around, what have you, pretty good at it, and yet still after 5 years there's still vendors trying to overcharge me, trying to gringo me. Couple of prices I'll mention. I was quoted $2.75 a kilo for red peppers. They're not even bell peppers at the open air mercado, Feria Libre, and they're like $2.68 at the store. So, you know, they're trying to get $1.50 for a coconut. I pay $1.25 at the store. So, you know, it just every time I go, and it's like I've been here 5 years and I still have to deal with this thing where, you know, why should I make a special trip to go to the mercado? This thing where there's no prices on anything, and you know, and they're just constantly pushing, constantly, all the time. And you know, it's okay, because in a way it's okay, because you just say no and walk away. But yeah, I'm not going to make a special trip to go over there, and because I can just go to the store and I can get things that are on sale at the store. Like you saw these bananas, you know. So every time I go somewhere and I get a deal, like at Coral Centro or Supermax even, it's just another reason not to go to the open air mercados where there's no prices listed, and they just want to charge you whatever they think you're going to pay. And the more tourists show up at these mercados, the harder it gets, the more difficult it gets to find. There's still some bargains. It's just a transformation that you see when you're on the ground. I see this transformation after being here 5 years, and how things come about, and how the challenge of going local, you know. And you just have to have a thick skin, you know. You have to have a rhinoceros skin, and just take it all in stride and don't worry about it. I mean, there's a lot of options, you know. And it's like, it's funny because you come down here, and for me, I want to live a simple life. I always have. That's what I was called to live. That's how I was created. It's the type of person I am. And I'm happy when I live simply. And come down here, you know, and have people say, well, I don't have time to go shopping. Well, I don't have time to go bargain hunting, or I don't have time to save $1. You know, it's like culture clash. You know, not having time to save money. To me, it's an enjoyment of bargain hunting. Bargain hunting. I was raised in a. Back then, they didn't call them developing countries. Maybe they did. How would I know? I was just a kid. And but yeah, being a kid, being a 12-year-old child in southern Italy, it was very poor in the 70s. I remember the hyperinflation. My mom would she'd send me down to buy a box of sugar, about that big. One week is 400 lira, the next week they wanted 600 lira. That was hyperinflation. Italy was, after World War II, going through a hyperinflation in the 70s and 80s. But that's not happening here. This is US dollar, like the US. What you have here is, they see your face, you look like a foreigner, and they want to charge you more. Even after 5 years of going to the mercados, there's still vendors trying to charge me more because of how I look. And you know, I just won't go there. I just won't buy from them, you know. Because, like I said, I can go to Coral Central and get what I need, or Super Maxi. And it's funny because people say, oh, compared to Super Maxi, it's cheaper. No, it's not. It can be, but it's not plug and play. It's not show up and it's cheaper. You know, you gotta have a rhinoceros skin. You gotta, you know, and it seems kind of odd to people because Americans aren't used to that. I know what it's like to be in North America. You know, people don't do that. You show up, go to the store, price is listed on the shelf, you buy it or you don't buy it. The customer generally would have 6 other coupons at their disposal, or prices listed in newspaper clippings, or coupons in the mailbox. And so they have prices. Price comparisons there are very easy and normal. And so a customer's well educated in North America. He knows the price before you even show up to give him a price. But here, it's not like that. You know, here, people don't have a frame of reference other than back home. And that's not a good frame of reference because you're not back home. And the frame of reference here, there is none. And so you show up, and all of a sudden, you know, you don't know the market, you don't know prices, you don't know anything. All of a sudden, you're in a developing country and you're paying U.S. prices, because that's where these prices end up going, little by little. I see them doing it. And it's a shame because of many reasons we talk about. But anyway, there are solutions. Like I said, if you keep an open mind and stay aware. There's a lot of a lot of times new people come down here because of new advertisements trying to drum up traffic to these places again. And they come down here and they make the same mistakes that newbies have been making for years when they first come here. The first mistake is being too willing to pay too much because it doesn't seem like too much to you. When you come and live abroad and you want something too much, you know, you want to live like a king. You want to live in a place that you want to brag about, and you know, and you're going to end up overpaying for it, and so, you know, it's a conflict for people. I think we just reposted an article how the original people, the original North Americans that were here, were very concerned about our making a bunch of videos because they were concerned that it would bring a lot more gringos and it would just up prices. Well, our intention was not to up. We're not the ones that up prices. You know, our intention wasn't to just drum up a bunch of traffic from a bunch of newbies. Our intention is to educate people. Our websites are educational, and you know, what we want to do is inform people and make an awareness, have a, you know, spread an awareness of how each individual person affects their locality. The place that you go, you affect the place. How you behave affects everyone else. And it's important to have that awareness. But having said that, I realize people are going to do what they're going to do. And so we're just going to keep doing what we do, showing people how to live well on small means. I truly believe that being frugal and living on small means, living within your means, and not having an attitude of entitlement, such as I deserve to live like a king or whatever, you know, I gotta have river views and all this kind of thing. You see a lot of these people that do this, and you just know they're not gonna last, because all they're looking at is price and what they can get, and they don't realize that there's a lot more to consider than that. So there's always choices. If you know, it seems really hard at times after rents have doubled. You said, well, rents have doubled. What are you going to do about it? You know, I mean, you're paying $250 while you're in the same house, but 5 years later, the landlord wants you to move out. Your rent's going to go up $150, $250. So, you know, you have to move out of your house and pay $150, $250 more dollars per month for the same amount of housing. It's something that we think a lot about, and I haven't reconciled it yet. There's people that want to make you feel bad because you live within your means. They call you too cheap. You know, these are typical arrogant American, cold-hearted people that think they're better than you. You know, you have these kind of people all the time, and just don't listen, don't pay any attention. Just go on about your life and live as good as you can, live free, live well, live at peace, and keeping our eyes focused on what's important. Just ignore the naysayers, don't pay any attention to them. You know, if you got a good mind and you like bargain hunting, you can be a little extroverted, you like learning new things, go ahead, move to a developing country, come on down. This is what the Ecuadorians are like anyway. A lot of them, not all of them. And you'll be in good company. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching our videos. Frank and Angie, discover QuencaEcuador.com. Living abroad on $1,200 a month, a family of 5. Peace. See you later. Once you start seeing a lot of talk on forums about a certain thing and gringos moving in, frugal folk need to start thinking about moving out. And in all fairness, it isn't that hard to figure out, because if you can get the same amount of bananas at the store where they have clean restrooms, security guards, it's well lighted, and the prices are on everything, so you don't have to negotiate.
Exactly.
You know, what's the point? Okay, well, have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and Still staying frugal in Cuenca, Ecuador. Still going local.
5 years later.
5 years later, not living on $1,000 a month anymore. It's $1,200, quickly to be, soon to be $1,400.
We'll be talking about it more as
Yeah.
time progresses.
All right.
Ciao.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.